What is hatching, Tug Peeps? OldManTup coming at you today with our Week 12 matchup versus Lars, El Scissor, and the Borussia Donphan. And if you're excited for this last week of Season 7 of the GBA, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And we will take a look at the team Lars brought. No real surprises here. Everything he brought last time, barring a few, everything he brought last time. So, we had a pretty good matchup against him last time. We don't have a Scissor this time, which is unfortunate. But we will make do. We have Banded Bird this time, which we didn't have last time. And I think we brought some good sets that are going to put us in a good position. So, at team matchup, I figured he'd probably do the same thing he did the last time we played, and I believe it was the Tapu Koko and Rotom Heat matchup. So I figured if he was going to do that, I would bring in Scarf Bird, who I know is always going to be faster than him, and I can just U-turn out. So that is going to be what we do, and we're going to dive right into this match. Thank you to Aaron for recording, and I believe jetting the team this week. He's been a big help this entire season and is an analyst, so go check out his vids. Lars is going to lead off with Rotom the Rotom Heat, and we are going to lead off with Boomstick. I really don't think he wants to stay in and chance taking a double edge to the face, so he's going to switch out into Rhysicle, which is his Magearna, which takes hits from this for days. We can tell off that damage it is physically defensive, and he has a Rocky Helmet, so I'm like, okay, we're going to have to manage our damage on the bird. We're just going to go in to our Slowking. Worst thing he can do is Volt Switch on us, and that's exactly what he does. And that does about 25 to 30%. And we are just going to set up a substitute. And be sitting behind the substitute in front of whatever he does, because we want to get that a Guava Berry eaten up as soon as possible so we can start belching on things. He's going to go for Draco Meteor and miss. And that doesn't really make that much of a difference, aside from the fact, had he missed on a more opportune turn for us, we'd have been in a better position. But he went for a Draco Meteor the same turn we set up a sub, or we're going to try and set up a sub because I figured he would break the one we had regardless. So we're going to set up another substitute, and that is going to pop our Guava Berry, which is going to give us 50% of our health back, and we are going to be sitting behind a substitute. So we're in a pretty decent spot here. I wasn't sure exactly whether or not this Draco Meteor would be able to break our sub after the -2. I don't know his exact set. But we are able to just get a wonderful belch off here, and as far as I'm concerned, we've already won the match because we got to showcase Belch Slowking. Now, he sees the damage that does. He doesn't want to stay in. He's going to go into Rotom Heat, and we're just going to switch out here. He was probably predicting our switch because we knew we couldn't stay in. At that point, we probably could have taken a Draco Meteor fairly easily, but we didn't want to chance the crit and take us out. Now, this is the second time, at least the second time, I don't think I've hit a Nature's Madness going into this match. And I know our first matchup, I think it was a turn 1 miss against his Rotom Heat. So this Rotom Heat, even though we're seeing the leftovers, is clearly hiding the bright powder inside that kitchen door. Using a little bit extra Windex and getting some gleam coming off of there, hitting us with the glare, and not allowing us to hit Nature's Madness yet again. But he is going to go for the HP, which I'm going to assume is ground, because ground attacks do good spread damage across my team, especially paired up with the Thunderbolt. So we're going to get the Nature's Madness off this turn, and missing it the first turn is fairly bad for us, because A, we take an extra hidden power hit that we might not have had to take, which is doing about 25% damage. So we take a quarter damage when we wouldn't have had to take that much before, and it would have given us the option to switch out earlier. But unfortunately, we missed that, and we're just going to U-turn here. and it's going to do not a lot of damage. But this is going to give him the information that we are a U-turning Tapu Koko and not a Volt switching Tapu Koko, which means that if he wants to, on predicted U-turns, he can switch in the Magearna. And we switch out into Hitmontop here. I thought this might catch him by surprise, but he just goes for Overheat, and that does a ton of damage. But I know he doesn't want to stand against us because he has to be fearing the possible Stone Edge, and considering he's specially defensive, he doesn't want to take one. So he's going to switch out, and I figure he's just going to go into Latios because that was his answer last time. And we're just going to be able to get a Toxic off, which is fantastic. It's going to slow this thing down from roosting up on us if it has that. Based on the damage we were able to gauge so far, it's either a Specs variant or a... Well, actually, we haven't been able to gauge anything yet because both Draco Meteors were on substitutes. But odds are, based off of the damage, it's either Soldew or Choice Specs. So we switch out here. I half expected a Roost if he had it, or possibly another Draco Meteor. He is just going to go ahead and Roost up, which makes me believe that he is not Specs and that he is the Soldew. Considering Dragon attacks and Psychic attacks do extremely good spread damage across the team, that makes perfect sense. He's going to switch out here because he doesn't want to get U-turned in the face, and the thing I mentioned before is going to happen. He's going to predict the U-turn, go into Magearna, and going to get chip damage off, negating my leftovers for that turn with the Rocky Helmet. But we do get the initiative here. We are able to just go back out into Pop-Tart and threaten this thing out with a Fire Blast, and he is just going to Volt Switch, which is no bueno. And that's going to do a ton of damage. And had it done that much damage the very first turn he used it on us, after the substitute we would have been in range to pop our berry. So we min-max roll between those two turns, which again, rather unfortunate. He's just I get the substitute set up there after his Volt Switch. I knew that would be able to be possible. He's just going to go out into his Tornadus, U-turn out, which 100% of the time breaks our substitutes. He's going to go into Crawdaddy here. My best play was to go for the Scald, fish for burns on anything. I didn't think he would U-turn out into Latios. And I go for the Scald, don't snag the burn. Unfortunate match against Lars. Rolls not going in our way, but I mean 1 in 3 chance, so I can't really claim hacks on that. It's going to go for the Crab Hammer here, and based on the amount of damage that does, almost 100% has to be Adamant Max Attack, and that's just sad face. Because now the only thing I have for a priority is gone, and that's no bueno. But we do a little bird here. You can't take us out with an Aqua Jet at this point, so he is going to have to switch. I figure he's just going to go back out into Magearna. So I go for the Close Combat because it's a neutral hit. And 2 Close Combats onto a completely physically defensive Magearna will put him in range for anything else on my team. And at this point, that's looking like what I'm going to have to do, because I need to start taking out his walls in order to get some momentum shifting in my favor, because he's just dancing around me at this point. He's just going to go for the Flash Cannon. Safe play. It will take us out, especially after 2 Close Combat drops. But Staraptor goes out, and that's sad face. He's going to get the Soul Heart boost, which is going to boost his special attack. So I have to go into something that's faster than him because I can't take +1 attacks from this, even defensively. With this being a defensive variant. But I'm able to just go out into Tapu Koko, drop a Thunderbolt on whatever wants to come in, and it's going to do huge damage. He brings in Rotomeme, and we're able to tell off of this he is a completely specially defensive variant. He was able to switch it up this week because he didn't require this for the Scizor, which he did the week before we played previously. So after the leftovers, we're not going to be able to take him out, so we are just going to U-turn out here. I don't think he's going to risk switching in his Magearna, so we are safe to U-turn. And we are going to go back out into Pop-Tart because I predict he is going to overheat again. He doesn't want to Volt Switch because I do still have the ground guy I have in the back. The other king, Nidoking. Yeah. So Pop-Tart comes in, is able to eat that up. I don't think he's going to stay in. Regardless, my best move is to just go for a Scald again and try and get some spread damage on the things. Go for the Scald. And Latios is going to start being affected by the Toxic Poison, which is fantastic. He's going to go for the Psyshock here. And based off how much investment he has, we did have a fairly good chance to live that, and we do. We are able to get the Belch off, and that does a huge amount of damage this turn. Such a large amount of damage, he can't stay in, take a hit, or risk trying to get the KO there. And I was so close this turn to clicking Fire Blast because I knew he wasn't going to stay in it. If he stayed in, it wouldn't have mattered. Had I clicked the Belch, which I did, Fire Blast was going to hit anything that come in. Even Crawdaunt doesn't want to come in. Its special defense is booty. Even though it's resisted, it doesn't want to come in, take a max special attack, Fire Blast to the face. Again, possibility to burn. I would have been such a shift in the momentum had I clicked it right here. And I really should have, but I didn't. Almost guaranteed pick up the KO on here. So, unfortunately, we go for Belch, that wastes a turn, and we don't have anything to switch into. We would have been down this thing, which means we could have brought Nidoking out and started poison jabbing things a little bit sooner. But the Flash Cannon is going to be able to kill us. Unfortunately, Pop-Tart is going to go down. And he's going to get the boost again. So we're going to go back out into Tapu Koko, because that is our thing to do. And every turn he switches something out, we get leftovers back, and that is what we need. So nothing on his team wants to switch into a Thunderbolt at this point. Even Rotom can't come in and take 2. So he's just going to leave Magearna in. Magearna is going to go down. And that is the last thing standing in the way of me bringing in Nidoking and just poison jabbing everything in the face. So Crawdad is going to come out here, and I see this being a very unfortunate set of circumstances for me. I don't have my Intimidator to go into anymore, and Life Orb Adaptability Aqua Jet is just going to be a terrible thing for the rest of my team. So I go into Purple Rain. And I know at this point I can't set up the Z Rain Dance because he still has the Popplio Evolution thing, Primarina, in the back. Again, I make a misplay and he switches into something and eats a resisted hit. I should have went for the Earth Power here. I thought he might get cheeky and predict that and go into Rotom, but I should have clicked that button because 100% of the time his best switch in, bar none, is this Primarina on my Hydreigon. And I just clicked the Dragon Pulse because I'm an idiot. And again, I just had the possibility to get some extra damage on something, gain a little bit of momentum, show that I'm not absolutely horrible at this game, and I lose that fact. I do stay in an Earth Power anyways. He did predict me to switch out. I didn't have a safe switch, and I needed to get as much damage on this thing before my Nidoking came in as possible. So again, I just Earth Power to get as much damage as possible. I'm going to get the special defense drop this time. Not that it's going to matter because the only thing I have left is the physical attacking Nidoking. So that's no good. Primarina is going to go for the Moonblast, which does like 900% damage because 4 times effective, and all we have left is Nidoking. And I'm like, okay, I might be able to live a Banded Adaptability Aqua Jet from full health on my Nidoking, but I can't do that now because Primarina, Whitley, had Aqua Jet too. which is super unfortunate, because that means we're going to fall 4-0 to the Borussia Donphan when it was looking like at the point, and I didn't run the calcs. He probably would have killed me if he was adamant max attack with life orb anyways. But GG Lars, that was the game. Not one of our more fortunate turnouts, but you know, dems de ropes. So we end the GBA with a record of 0-12 for season 7, or yeah, season 7. 0-12, not anywhere I thought I would be sitting at the beginning of the season with the team we drafted. Learned a lot about what I need to do in order to draft around a playstyle I need. So, from this point forward, I am going to be, as I stated in the last video, I am doing some off-season GBA style showdown leagues, which will be uploaded. So if you would like to watch that, you will be able to see the Pittsburgh Pirattatas in the UAPB or UABP or something. Links in the description, so check it out. Cool dude running it, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun. Gonna be doing a draft analysis video coming up for that relatively soon, because the draft is over, and not this Sunday, but next Sunday will be the first week upload for that league. So that's excellent. But yeah, 0-12, I will be making a video about my thoughts moving forward and what the future holds for the Pittsburgh Pirattatas in any league moving forward from this point. So thank you all for sticking around. Thank you all for pointing out my mistakes. I don't mean that spitefully or saltily. Quite a few of you do a lot of fact checking on the things I say, and a lot of times I don't always say things that are correct. And I do need correcting on that, because some of the battle mechanics I'm still adjusting to for Sun and Moon. And especially the people who love to tell me that Sheer Force cancels out secondary effects, because I always forget that when I'm narrating the battle. So thank you for that. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for paying attention and watching a winless team in the GBA, because I know that's not easy to do. It's not easy to be a winless team in the GBA. I can only imagine how hard it is to be a fan of a winless team in the GBA. So if that's you, thank you very much. I want to thank everybody who genned for me this season, everybody who recorded my matches for me this season. You are all great, and if it wasn't for your hard work and dedication, this wouldn't be possible. So my hat's off to you, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, I got some hard thinking to do before I move forward on any plans for Season 8 of the GBA. But there will be announcement vids and stuff like that. I'm going to do a Season 7 recap. I kind of have to, based off the way the season turned out. So you guys can be expecting that in the near future. But anyways, guys, this has been OldManTup, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.